Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing. Hello, hello, hello. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. Welcome into the Trib Live High School Sports Network for your continued coverage of WPIAL High School Basketball Playoffs. I am Mon Valley Independent Assistant Sports Editor Jose Negron, joined alongside correspondent Dean Delamalva for this Class 5A preliminary matchup between the number 7 McKeesport Tigers and the number 26 Kiski Area Cavaliers. And we are ready to go as Melina Board goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. It's an early 2-0 lead for McKeesport, Dean.
Yeah, at least we didn't miss too much, you know. A couple turnovers by Kiski, trying to get the ball over the timeline, and then a loose ball that McKeesport won the battle to. Wasn't able to score off either of those, but did get some free throws on the board, so 2-0.
We'll run through the starters here in a second as Kiski Area tries to make something happen here on the offensive end. 3 ball there, no good by Kiski's Abigail Johns, and now here come the Tigers, go the other way. Aviana Menifee, a chance there. That didn't convert. Turnover. We'll go right back to the Cavaliers. McKeesport enters the postseason 14-4 overall, having won 3 of their last 4 games. Coming off a 57-45 loss to Woodland Hills on Tuesday, while Kiski Area has struggled this season, 13 straight losses after starting the season 3-3. There's another turnover by the Cavaliers.
Got away with a little bit of a space pusher there. She did coming up the floor, put a little forearm shiver into one of the Tigers, but threw it away anyway.
These two teams, Dean, trending in the kind of opposite directions coming into the postseason. Kiski only 3 wins this season, and they've been against teams that only one team is above 500, and it's Burrell, which is at 500 at 9-9.
Yeah. They've also got a victory over York, who, of course, elected not to be in the playoffs this year. In Greensburg-Salem out of 6A, they beat by 2. A team that does not score very much, only averaging 28.7 points a game. So it'll be a challenge for them to score. If McKeesport gets out on them quickly, they could be in trouble.
Board trying to make something happen, but Deja Burnett, 6'1 junior, providing a nice presence in close, and there's another turnover by Kiski Area early on here in the first 2+ minutes of this preliminary round matchup.
4 turnovers already.
The winner of this game will move on to the first round to take on either number 10 Oakland Catholic or number 23 Laurel Highlands. Those two teams also playing right now.
A lot of 6 o'clock action today, predominantly on the girls' side. Couple 8 o'clock games, mostly those part of a doubleheader.
3 ball there by Carmen Coles is no good, and rebounded by Cora Coleman. And a timeout called by Kiski Area with 5:29 to go here in the first quarter. And we'll run through the starting lineups. Some technical difficulties that we apologize for there at the beginning of this one, but we'll run down the starting lineups once again for both teams, starting with McKeesport. Sophomore number 2, Aviana Menifee. Sophomore number 3, Melina Board. Senior number 4, Haley Hertzler. Freshman number 10, Brooke Evans. And senior number 11, Carmen Coles. And for Kiski Area, senior number 1, Samantha Worthing. Freshman number 2, Abigail Johns. Junior number 11, Carly Keller. Freshman number 20, Cora Coleman. And junior number 35, Deja Burnett.
Yeah, and like you said, watching the pregame, you kind of wonder, like, at Burnett at, what is she, 6'2", you said?
6'1".
6'1",
yep.
May give McKeesport some troubles, but there's a 5th
Another
turnover.
3 ball there is good by Carmen Coles. Coles, one of 2 seniors on this McKeesport roster, a roster that features 6 sophomores and 8 freshmen. I remember talking to head coach Eric Smith at the beginning of the season. He really wasn't sure what to expect from his team this year, knowing how many young players they had coming into the high school level. As block there by Burnett sets things up for Kiski as they look to get on the board.
Yeah, she's going to have to be their inside presence and be big. I mean, she is definitely much taller than just about everybody on the floor.
There's another Kiski turnover, and McKeesport doesn't have a girl over 6 foot, but here's Melina Board to the hole, and she draws the foul. Looks like it's going to be called on Abigail Johns. Melina Board, a sophomore, will go to the free throw line with 4:49 on the clock. Board already 2 for 2 from the line. Misses the first.
Of course, some good news for our high school basketball fans today is the governor went a little lapse on some of these COVID restrictions, and they're allowing 15% at inside events now.
Good news indeed. McKeesport will head to the free throw line again as Brooke Evans gets fouled. I think that's got to be a factor here tonight, Dean, too, is Kiski's can't really send McKeesport to the free throw line as much and have to take care of what they can in terms of being, consistent and not committing those miscues.
Anytime you give a decent team the opportunity to score points, be able to score points fairly easily, I would say at the free throw line you're going to be in trouble. But they're struggling with that today.
Yeah, 4 straight misses from the free throw line for McKeesport over the last few seconds, and now Kiski looking to cut into that lead, and there's another turnover.
8.
Kiski doing their part on the defensive end to make sure McKeesport's not growing this lead, but on the offensive end of the floor, too many mistakes.
Yeah, Kiski's defense not terrible, only allowing 46.6 a game. That's actually not too bad, but
3 ball by Coles, no good. Over the back, called on Deja Burnett. That's going to be her second foul, I believe.
Yeah, got 2 on her.
That would be a blow to this Kiski team as she's gonna head to the bench. Onto the court is freshman Emma Peck.
Mentioned 2 very young teams and looking like they're going to be growing for the future, but an opportunity here in the playoffs to make a name for themselves a little early.
Nice play inside by Menifee, but she's unable to convert. Here comes Kiski again the other way, looking to take care of the basketball here in the early going. 5-0 McKeesport. A foul called on Menifee. Now we'll send Abigail Johns to the line with 3:50 to go here in the first.
This is Kiski's first trip down the floor on offense where they actually got a shot off.
Yeah, first legitimate offensive opportunity. Yeah. Johns makes the first. She hits the second. This McKeesport team, of course, led by the senior duo of Haley Hertzler and Carmen Coles, each averaging over 10 points per game. Melina Board averaging 9.3. Corner 3 by Board goes in and out, rebounded by Menifee. She goes up for 2. First points of the night for Menifee.
Nice move inside for her, doing easy. One of the few very uncontested shots so far for McKeesport. And another Kiski turnover by the way.
Just racking up here in this first quarter.
Kiski has as many turnovers as both of these teams have points. So
yes, they do. 3 ball by Hertzler. That one's good.
Beautiful shot there by Hertzler. Barely touched the net.
Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay Kiski. 10-2 McKeesport as we reach the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. Again, these two teams battling for a chance to play either Oakland Catholic or Laurel Highlands in the first round this open tournament. Shot there by Cora Coleman was no good, rebounded by Coles. Now McKeesport looking to extend this lead. Hertzler to the hole, no good. Defensive board by Coleman, and now Kiski area looking to respond.
They are challenging them, on the defensive end. They're able to hang, and that was a nice job.
Not making anything easy. But when you're unable to convert on the offensive end of the floor, it makes it tough as a miss leads to McKeesport going the other way. Coles into the corner. Evans for three. Menifee the offensive rebound and the putback.
Second time she's done that today. And there's turnover number 10.
And a bucket there for Carmen Coles. 5 points for Carmen Coles, and the timeout called by Kiski with McKeesport leading 14-2. 1:56 to go here in the first quarter.
That got away from them pretty quickly there, did not.
Yeah, a 9-0 run now for the Tigers over the last about a minute and a half. Menifee with 4 points during this spurt, and it seems like she's going to have to really be key in close for this McKeesport team if they're going to want to continue this trend of, continuing this lead.
Yes, and, we like you mentioned, the two players in double figures, Hertzler and Coles, you're going to get, that effort for them, but it's for them to continue down the road here in the playoffs, they're going to need additional players to pick it up and get to their scoring. And so far today, it's balanced. They've got 4 of their 5 players have scored so far.
Right. And we mentioned Coles, Hertzler, and Board all averaging over 9 points per game. Menifee averaging 7.4, and Brooke Evans averaging 6.2. Maddie Hertzler and Maddie Cherepko have also contributed off the bench, as has Rachel Manfredo, 5.6 points per game. So some balance for this McKeesport team that has a few veteran leaders that have led the way, but young players that have really embraced becoming the future of this program. We get going once again. Kiski area looking to respond. 3 ball there by Abigail Johns is no good.
Madeline Cherepko on the rebound. She just checked into the game.
Melina Board really burst onto the scene last year in the playoffs as there's a 2 ball, which is no good by Maddie Hertzler.
Yep, her into the game on the timeout. Again, trying to maybe give a couple of the starters a few seconds extra to recover going into the end of this quarter.
Another turnover for the Cavaliers. Again, Kiski area in a tough section, too, with teams like Hampton, Fox Chapel, Armstrong, Mars. Not an easy top 4 teams to play against twice a year. There's a turnover on the Tigers.
Especially when you're young and you're trying to build, it's hard to play against those really good teams week in and week out and still be able to teach them.
Right. Hard to simulate the type of play that you're going to play against those teams in 5A when things have been so different here with the pandemic and limited practices, limited games, as there's a double dribble and another turnover on Kiski. Definitely been a challenging season for these high school athletes.
It's hard to get consistent, especially when you've got, schools having shutdowns and, having to take 2 weeks off and, it's winter.
Yeah.
It's not like you can, go to the playground and shoot around a little
right.
bit. So, you got to concentrate on other things, maybe conditioning and ball handling maybe you can do in the basement.
Right, just little things, little things that you can kind of control. McKeesport looks to hold for the last shot potentially. Board into the hands of Menifee. Menifee try to cross pass to Board. She lifts one up, no good. Rebounded and a putback by Maddie Cherepko. Cherepko puts McKeesport up 16-2 at the end of one quarter. The Tigers have really taken control as they finished the frame on an 11-0 run in the final 3.5 minutes.
Aided by 12 Kiski turnovers.
That definitely helps the Tigers' cause, as Kiski, I'm sure, will try to clean that up here as we begin the second quarter of play. But again, thank you for joining us here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Again, I am Mon Valley Independent Assistant Sports Editor Jose Negron, joined by MVI Sports Correspondent Dean Delamalva. And we're very thankful to Trib HSSN for allowing us to help with their playoff coverage here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Your second stream here on HSSN as you and Naz had the call of Sarah Catholic and Carmichael's boys on Saturday.
Yes. The initial run of the partnership, so to speak, went pretty well. Of course, head coach, Sarah Catholic head coach Bill Cleary, and athletic director, of course, at Sarah Catholic for the girls team on. They're getting ready for a game, later this week?
Yeah.
So their first game as the number 2 seed in 2A girls.
They'll look to contend for a WPIAL championship as we get ready here for second quarter. McKeesport looking to expand on this lead. A miss there by Hertzler, but she gets her own rebound. Nice ball movement here by the Tigers. They feed it inside to Menifee. Menifee tries to get past Burnett, and she ends up getting fouled. Menifee will head to the line to start this second quarter.
That was kind of a late whistle.
It was a late call there. Menifee's at the free throw line. Makes the first. She enters hitting 62% from the free throw line, 48 for 77 this season. Menifee hits the second. 18-2 McKeesport. Less than a minute into this second quarter. 6 points for Aviana Menifee tonight. This trap defense causing some issues for Kiski as McKeesport's ramping up the pressure. Johns to the hole, no good. It looks like it goes off the hands of Deja Burnett.
They could have called over the back on her again, but they didn't. Good thing, because that would have been 3 on her already.
Kiski definitely dodged a bullet there. As the Tigers go the other way again into Menifee, out side to Brooke Evans. The hands of Hertzler.
That was a really nice look there. Like Menifee didn't even realize. She didn't even look. She just knew she was there and dumped it out to her.
Menifee tried to draw a foul, was unsuccessful, goes off her and goes out of bounds, so it's Kiski ball. Foul called on the floor. Maddie Cherepko gets called. The first foul for her tonight. Foul situation 6-2. 6 for Kiski, 2 for McKeesport. 2 players on this Cavaliers team with 2 fouls apiece in Carly Keller and Deja Burnett. Kiski needs to get something going offensively as they trail by 16 points. Another turnover. Now Haley Hertzler with speed on the fast break. And she gets gets called for the charge.
Cavaliers got to do something. They possessed the ball the last time down the floor, for an extended period of time and was unable to find an open player. McKeesport zone really giving them fits.
Seems like the Tigers have thrown a couple different defensive schemes at this Kiski team, and there's a charge on Burnett, her third foul.
Charge on both ends.
You get a charge, you get a charge, you get a charge.
That call is such an objective call. Half the time they call it, it should be the other way.
Right. Inside, Menifee guarded heavily by Burnett. Out of bounds, will stay with McKeesport. It's been a good matchup there between Menifee and Burnett as got a whole crop of Tigers returning to the court, including Melina Board, Carmen Coles, and Rachel Manfredo will enter for McKeesport.
Deja Burnett back out of the game with her third foul. Still was playing aggressive underneath the basket there. Got a block despite picking up that foul, but now she'll sit down. Still almost 6 minutes to go here.
Fredo tried to go to the basket. Can't convert. 3-ball by Board. That goes off the front of the iron. Rebounded by Evans. And the putback is good.
Brooke Evans with 2 rebounds on that trip. I think she scored on a putback. No, she did not score on a putback earlier. She had an opportunity to.
She's had some opportunities to convert. There's pass by Evans, goes into the hands of Carly Keller, and now Kiski the other way. Keller turns that one into 2.
4:54 left in the first half. That is Kiski's first field goal.
Better late than never. McKeesport looking to respond here.
They're going to need a few more to get back in this game.
Manfredo gets it out to Coles, almost intercepted by Keller. Went off her hands into the hands of Coles. Hertzler back to Evans. Evans inside, lifts a floater, and that's going to fall.
Almost traveled with a little stutter step there, but was able to get through and get up the shot.
The defensive effort continues to impress for McKeesport early on, and Eric Smith is going to call a timeout here with 4:05 to go in the first half of this one. A Class 5A preliminary round matchup between the McKeesport Tigers and the Kiski Area Cavaliers. And the Tigers have dominated for the first quarter and a half of this one, 22-4. And this Tigers team, of course, kind of comes in battle-tested, having played some pretty tough opponents. Obviously, Greater Latrobe in that section. Woodland Hills, a very tough team as well in this 5A bracket. And this Tigers team, 3 of their 4 losses have come at the hands of those 2 teams. They split with the Wolverines, and then, of course, a non-section loss at the hands of Bethel Park. So this Tigers team, relatively inexperienced, but I think those games really kind of help them coming into the playoffs.
Absolutely, and if you look at the 5A girls bracket, you've got Woodland Hills 5, Latrobe 6, McKeesport 7, all bunched together there. So even it looked like the committee had a little bit of a hard time differentiating between those 3 teams. And McKeesport, being the 7th seed, they are the highest seed playing a preliminary round game. So,
yep.
You kind of expected them to be able to come out here and impress against the Cavaliers. Bit of a slow start, but they seem to be hitting now.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the winner of this game will face number 10 Oakland Catholic or number 23 Laurel Highlands. Those 2 teams playing now. And nice block there by Manfredo. Will go back to McKeesport. Haley Hertzler tried to get it into the hands of Manfredo. Goes out of bounds, and it's going to end up Kiski's ball. And the winner of the next round that McKeesport will play in, you get number 2 Char Valley there in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
the defending 5A champions.
And probably not a really happy Char Valley team. I think they've lost 3 games this year, which we haven't seen in probably a couple of years.
Yep.
They haven't lost. So, and, they're a little bit different team. They got some different players, but still, Perry Page is still there, and Aislinn Malcolm is still there.
Yep.
It's like they're still pretty darn good.
There's still that perennial power that even though they're seeded number 2, they can be a force in 5A as there's another turnover by the Cavaliers. Maybe if McKeesport can get past Kiski and get past either Oakland Catholic or Laurel Highlands, maybe they can give Char Valley a little bit of a game.
Yeah.
Pull an upset.
Especially with, as well as they're defending here today, although there is an errant pass.
Hertzler pass ends up in the hands of Cora Coleman, and now Coleman throws it way over the head of Zoe Holm.
I guess we're going to get a deflection on that one, I think.
Yeah, going to stay Kiski ball.
Like we talked, I think, a little bit on Sunday, how it's Trinity 1, Char Valley 2, and then a conglomerate of teams that could be the 3rd best team in 5A.
Right, kind of mid-tier, like those mid-tier teams.
Yep, anywhere from 3 to probably 8 or 9 in the same category can win on any night.
Aaron pass goes into the hands of Board, and Board on the fast break cannot convert. Manfredo the rebound. Putback doesn't fall, gets another rebound. That doesn't fall. McKeesport has kind of gone quiet over the last 2 minutes. There's another errant pass by Abigail Johns, and McKeesport will take over once again. And again, this Kiski team, very young, 5 freshmen. A couple of those freshmen are starting, including Cora Coleman, Abigail Johns. So 2 of those starters are freshmen, getting valuable experience and valuable playoff experience here with this open tournament.
Absolutely. You can't replicate that kind of experience. You can't, or the atmosphere of a playoff game over a regular season game. So why not get a couple of minutes here, and gain that experience to help for the years to come.
Hertzler to the bucket, draws the foul. She will head to the free throw line. I know it's not the environment that we're used to seeing for playoff games, but there are more fans here in the stands for both sides. You got Kiski area fans in the house as well as McKeesport fans, so still getting a glimpse of what we usually see in a normal year.
Yeah, and most of the time this season it was just home team fans. So when your team would make a basket, it was like crickets in the place.
Right.
You couldn't hear anything. It was kind of weird, But Kiski's well represented here today, so good for them.
Hertzler misses both from the free throw line. Still 22-4 in favor of McKeesport. They've not scored since the 4:18 mark in this second quarter. Nice job by Aviana Menifee to try to keep that one in bounds, but will remain with the Cavaliers. Ball in the hands of Carly Keller. Looking for an open teammate. She'll try to drive past Hertzler. Might have gotten away with a walk there. Looks to reset. Keller inside to Coleman. She's guarded by 2 McKeesport defenders.
That was a nice pass. Nice entry there. She just couldn't get any space.
Riley Hannon lifted one up, no good, and now McKeesport will go the other way, look to end this scoring drought that they have over the last 3 minutes. Into the hands of Menifee inside, and she's going to get called for the travel.
Sure, Coach Smith isn't happy about this drought. I mean, despite his team leading by 18, I'm sure he would still like them to see them scoring.
Yeah, I think regardless of the seeding, regardless of, the fact that Kiski has struggled a little bit this season. If you're McKeesport, you want to keep that foot on the gas pedal. Keller from just inside the 3-point line, no good. Board the other way. Doesn't fall. Struggles continue for both sides. Nice defense there by Maddie Hertzler on Abigail Johns, and it'll stay Kiski ball.
We'll give her a block on that.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
You know?
She had her hands up, got the ball. It went off of her last, so why not?
You're welcome. 3 ball there for Worthing is good. 22-7 now. McKeesport will hold for the final shot here of this first half. Sammy Worthing, a three-pointer there. First 3 points of the night. And a turnover on McKeesport. Kiski with a chance to get one more bucket
and it was
potentially make this a game.
It was a good-looking shot, too, by Worthing that she hit down here. Got into rhythm, got up the shot, had a nice arc on it, and found the bottom of the net.
And they called a jump ball there as Coles took it out of the hands of Keller. 2.1 seconds on the clock. Kiski with the ball. Johns with the inbound pass. Gets it into the hands of Coleman. She tried to get it to Worthing. She took a 3 after the buzzer. Will not count. So at halftime, McKeesport, despite being held scoreless in the last 4 minutes and 18 seconds of that second quarter, they take a 22-7 lead into halftime.
Only a 6-5 advantage on the scoreboard in the second quarter for the Tigers. Only 2 field goals made, 2 of 4 at the free throw line, so not a lot of offense at all for the home team. Kiski, and also worth noting that McKeesport actually had more turnovers that quarter than Kiski, 6-4. So
that's significant. Obviously, when you make those mistakes, that's what kind of gets you into a position where you're struggling to make things happen on the offensive end of the floor as well. And we saw that happen to the Tigers with their late drought in the second quarter, as Aviana Menifee has really been their top offensive contributor with 6 points. Carmen Coles, 5 points of her own. And Brooke Evans with 4 as well for McKeesport.
4 out of 10 at the charity stripe ain't helping McKeesport right now either.
And they started 2 for 2 right out of the gate with Melina Board hitting those foul shots, and then ended 2 for 8.
Yeah. So just not taking advantage of opportunities that were given to them here in this game. As we mentioned, a total of 16 first half turnovers for Kiski is not good for them, obviously. But McKeesport really hasn't been able to take advantage of it.
Right.
But still holding this lead at 22-7.
I'm sure Eric Smith will want to see his team correct what went wrong there in the second quarter and kind of get back to what they were doing, especially late in that first quarter when they went on an 11-0 run in the final 3.5 minutes to take a 16-2 lead after 8 minutes. And that's kind of how we got to where we are with the Tigers clinging to a 15-point lead.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't think anything has really changed, like offensively or for McKeesport, or Kiski's defense has done something different. It's just they're just not converting.
Yeah, just a matter of not being able to capitalize on those opportunities. McKeesport's playing a solid brand of defense as well, as they limited Kiski to only 5 points in that second quarter. But like you mentioned, when you only score 6 points on the other end, it doesn't really help the cause. And we'll take
trying to scroll through Twitter here and see if I can find any scores. I'm not having any luck yet, unfortunately.
Thank you to those who are tuning in here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Again, I am MVI Assistant Sports Editor Jose Negron, joined by MVI Sports Correspondent Dean Delamalva. Again, very thankful to the Trib for the partnership that we have developed here for the WPIAL basketball playoffs, both boys and girls. We will be covering a lot of our local Mon Valley schools here throughout the postseason. Excited to see what some of our playoff teams can do. Of course, on the girls' side, we have a couple top 5 seeds with Sarah Catholic and Thomas Jefferson, and then we have, of course, number 7 McKeesport here. And then on the boys' side, a couple number 1 seeds with SA and Bell Vernon, and excited to see what these teams can do here in this open tournament.
Oh, yeah. The South Allegheny's had another fantastic year. And Bell Vernon, they pretty much picked up where they left off last year, you know. They had a great run end of last season. And they've, parlayed that into a great season this year. So good for them, for sure, both of those teams. And then we've got some others. We've got, Charleroi playing tonight.
Yep. Charleroi boys going to play Steel Valley at home at 8 p.m.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. And Monessen boys and girls. Girls are a 6 seed. So,
yep.
Some expectations for them. For their game, I believe, on Thursday against Union. Couple of scores coming in here. Another one of our correspondents, Jeremy Tepper, he's got a tough one from the looks of it. Fox Chapel, the 8 seed, leading Ringgold at the half by the score of 45-12. So not good there. Fox Chapel led 25-2 after 1. So not really having much trouble are the Foxes. And the future opponent for one of these two teams, Oakland Catholic, is out on top of Laurel Highlands, as you would expect. Also, sizable lead, 24-5. So,
yeah, pair of course, Oakland Catholic number 10 in the 5A bracket, Laurel Highlands number 23 in this open tournament. Kind of what we were anticipating would be a McKeesport Oakland Catholic matchup in the first round, but if Kiski has anything to say about it and they continue to play the defense and be disruptive as they have in that second quarter, maybe they can pull off an upset of sorts here.
Cavaliers got a long way to go, Jose.
Yes, they do.
But I get what you're saying for sure. They had a really good second quarter defensively.
Got to capitalize on offense.
Got to capitalize on offense. So Team MVI here tonight on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. We've been very lucky all season with our sponsors.
Yep.
And we're going to take the opportunity to thank some of them right now. So although insurance does not always cover wellness and preventative care, Elite Physical Therapy and Wellness offers very affordable wellness programs and packages to improve your body's overall wellness and performance. Our programs are top-notch in improving overall health and wellness and athletic performance for all ages. Go see Valley native Dr. Emilio Gallis and his staff for all your physical therapy and sports injury treatment needs. Visit them on the web at www.eliteptw.com or arrange a consultation at 638 Ross Draver Road in Bell Vernon. Are you looking for a solid start to your daily routine? Look no further than the newly opened Camel Coffee Company in Washington Township, Bell Vernon. Camel Coffee Company is open daily from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., featuring Intelligentsia coffee and other custom-made and community-brewed coffee. You can also add a pastry and sandwiches to your daily routine as well. Camel Coffee Company offers free Wi-Fi and is locally owned and operated, so go check them out along 201 directly across from the Washington Township Fire Hall. If you've recently bought a home or refinanced your current home, have you considered changing your homeowner's insurance? The Michael Williamson Farmers Insurance Agency offers great rates and excellent customer service. Give them a call at 724-292-8066 or visit the office at 214 West Main Street in Monongahela. The Michael Williamson Farmers Insurance Agency is proud to sponsor MVI Live and Mon Valley Athletics. I didn't have dinner. Did you have dinner?
I did not, but I know where you're going with this, and it's gonna make me hungry.
Foster House 2 is now open for dine-in and carry-out. Don't miss one of the famous King sandwiches from the Foster House, which now has pizza by the slice, and pizza burgers available all day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Watch all the Penguins games on the big screen TVs with a feature of 22-ounce Coors Light Draft for $2.50 during these games. The kitchen is open till 11:30 p.m., so don't miss some of the best food the Valley has to offer. Foster House 2 in Washington Township in Bell Vernon. Do you need something done around your house, especially when it comes to your HVAC system? Look no further than the Working Man. Give Chuck Merlak a call for your HVAC and plumbing needs. But that's not all the Working Man does. Electrical, framing, drywall, excavation, water and fire restoration. You name it, he can likely do it. An authorized Lennox Carrier dealer, the Working Man also offers apprenticeship programs and can provide excavating, help you with your insurance claims, and now features whole house air cleaners to help kill viruses. Call the Working Man at 724-557-2028 for all your HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and building needs.
We'll run down our own weekly schedule that we will have on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Of course, in addition to this stream, currently our colleagues Jeremy Salou and I believe Naz Victoria are over at Charleroi for a doubleheader. Paulo Ridge taking on Best Center at the moment, and later on tonight at 8 p.m., Steel Valley will face the Charleroi Cougars. Tomorrow on the slate, a pair of girls games. Southside Beaver traveling to Sarah Catholic for a 6 p.m. tilt in a 2A playoff matchup, and I will actually be at California for a Class 2A matchup between the Trojans and Fort Cherry at 6 p.m. Wednesday, the Fraser boys will be in action against Fort Cherry at 6, and the Charleroi girls will travel to Keystone Oaks. Dean, you will be on the call for that one as well?
I will be. I will be making a very short trip from my day job out to Keystone Oaks. And,
how long is that drive?
With COVID traffic, 12 minutes.
A lot quicker than coming out here.
Yes, absolutely. But, hey, it's worth it.
So you'll have that on Wednesday as the Charleroi girls will look to pull off an upset over KO. And then on Thursday, we'll have our 2 number 1 seeds in action. Bell Vernon will host either Black Hawk or Freeport, while South Allegheny will play the winner of Brownsville and Ligonier Valley. I will be at SA for that matchup, along with Naz Victoria. As we prepare for the second half of play here, Dean, what does McKeesport have to do to keep Kiski from kind of slowly getting things going and maybe trimming this deficit even more?
Try to find a rhythm on offense. Get some people open, find some open looks, and just knock down some shots like that 3, but it's no good.
3 no good, and I was going to say that scoring on the first possession would have helped.
Yes, and that was a good open look. She just missed it.
Nice defense here by McKeesport, and goes off the hands of Board, out of bounds, stays with Kiski. I think it's going to all start on the defensive side for McKeesport. If they can continue to be frustrating on the defensive end of the floor, and then it'll give them time to find their rhythm here on the offensive end.
Well, they definitely came out with some intensity on that possession when Kiski was bringing it up the floor. It's something they had early.
Hertzler to Menifee ends the drought.
Yeah, they had that early, and just, I don't know, maybe that's what the difference was. They just weren't quite as intense on their pressure. It's Deja Burnett scoring her first basket.
Burnett, the 6'1 junior, gets on the board, cuts it to 24-9 with 7 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Hertzler unable to convert. Put back attempt by Menifee was no good. Kiski going to take over as they call it a jump ball.
See if they continue that pressure, but they don't need to.
There's an unforced turnover on Kiski, and I think that's been an issue too for the Cavaliers is just the unforced errors.
Yeah, traveling violations. There was a double dribble. There was a 3 in the key. Those are things that you can definitely do something about.
Deja Burnett providing that presence inside, gets a nice block.
Her 4th. She got 4 blocks.
Keller into the hands of Worthing, excuse me. Push called there. going to be on Melina Board. (24-9) McKeesport, 6.5 to go here in the third quarter. 3 ball by Johns. No good, right into the hands of Brooke Evans. McKeesport goes the other way. Evans into the hands of Menifee. Menifee inside. Draws some contact, and she will head to the free throw line.
Yep, she definitely did. She went in there with the gumption to get some contact, and she did it and drew the foul.
Menifee's been a nice presence inside for the Tigers. She heads to the charity stripe. Hits the first.
Well, the rest of her teammates have struggled. That's 3 for 3 for Menifee at the line.
Again, Menifee shooting 62% from the free throw line this season. She hits a second. 10-point game for Aviana Menifee, and it makes it 26-9 in favor of the Tigers. Burnett inside, and she converts and draws the foul on Haley Hertzler.
Well, it's obviously going to be, the Cavaliers' plan here in the second half is to get the ball inside to Deja Burnett and see if she can power their way back into this game.
Something that we thought was going to be key, considering McKeesport doesn't have anybody over 6 foot on their team, so there is a size advantage there. Menifee's been the one to go against Burnett tonight, and she's able to get the upper hand on that one. So Menifee has scored all 6 of McKeesport's points here in the second half. 28-11 McKeesport. Burnett inside. She can't convert. She gets the rebound, looked over the back on Melina Board. Now Worthing for 3 from the corner. Good.
Another nice shot. She's got a nice shot.
Another corner 3 for Sam Worthing, and it is 28-14. And the foul called here.
Boy, if I don't know if you saw the same. If Board would have cut on that, she'd have had an easy layup, but she just kind of hesitated a little bit.
Foul called on Worthing, her second of the night. Board looking for an open teammate, gets it inside to Menifee. Menifee trying to get space from Burnett. Loses the ball, goes off of a Kiski player, then goes right to Brooke Evans, now outside the Board, and Board is called for the travel.
5 blocks now for Deja Burnett to go along with 4 points. Just a couple rebounds, though. Of course, she spent a lot of the first half on the bench. Oh, she was open. You should have sent it.
Burnett 3 fouls in that first half. Kiski looking to cut into the lead once again, and Hertzler gets a hand on it, goes out of bounds. Timeout called by McKeesport. With 4:47 to go here in the third quarter, McKeesport leading 28-14. And the Tigers have been led by Aviana Menifee again here in the second half, all 6 of their points, while Deja Burnett with her first 4 points of the game, and Sam Worthing with another big 3-pointer.
Yeah, pretty much an equal start here. 7-6 advantage again, Kiski. Able to maintain. That first quarter was a disaster for them, 16-2. But so far in a quarter and almost a half, they've been able to maintain and keep up. They just haven't been able to get over the hump to try to chip back into this lead.
Right. And this Kiski team, of course, can't really count them out of this one. Down 14 points with 4:47 to go here in the third quarter. A lot of game left to be played, as Kiski will have a chance to cut into this lead even more as they will inbound. Abigail Johns gets it into the hands of Carly Keller. Inside to Burnett. Burnett going to take a jumper from around the free throw line. No good. McKeesport heads the other way. Melina Board into the corner to Carmen Coles. Cole's been somewhat quiet here tonight.
Started out fast, 5 points in the first quarter, but has not scored since.
And if he tried to get it inside to Brooke Evans, but it goes through her hands and out of bounds.
Trying to force it. Take the easy stuff. Trying to force it a little too much.
Especially when, Menifee has been obviously great here in this third quarter with all 6 of their points, but prior to that, you had such a long drought. You want to look for those easy buckets. Nice defense here by Carmen Coles, but it ends up into the hands of Johns. She tries to feed it inside to Burnett. Sails it over her head and out of bounds. McKeesport takes over.
They almost forced a 5-second call over here. They did that in the first half as well defensively. I don't think there's anything wrong with the way McKeesport's playing defense. It's just they're not as fluent on offense.
Their defense has really, I think, been key to their success here tonight. They've done enough offensively to climb to this 14-point lead. As Hertzler takes a jumper, no good. Evans with the rebound, put back is good. She draws the foul.
And Brooke Evans that's the second time that she's scored on a offensive rebound and a putback in this game. She's been able to be a force. She got 7 rebounds. Jeez, been a force inside.
She misses the free throw, so can't convert on the 3-point play, but she has 6 points tonight as it is 30-14 McKeesport, and there's another turnover. Menifee looking to try to get past Worthing. Runs into Burnett. Can't convert, and now Kiski will take it the other way. And you mentioned Brooke Evans and her rebounding. 100 rebounds this season for McKeesport. She's been their leader on the boards as only a freshman. Jumper by Burnett, no good. Coles will get the defensive board and will start the other way.
Talk to coaches about the young players and what are the types of things that they struggle with early. One of them is defense, and I think the other one is rebounding, but she definitely is not.
She has been huge on the boards for McKeesport this season as McKeesport heads the other way. Coles from the corner, and that'll be a 2. And a timeout called by McKeesport, and they gave her credit for 3. I didn't see them make the motion for a 3-pointer.
They did not put their arms up. I don't know if that's going to be accurate or not. Let's see what they do here. But another rebound for Brooke Evans, now 8. Well,
a timeout called by McKeesport here with 2:51 to go in the third quarter, and it appears as if McKeesport has a 32-14 lead, and yes, they changed it on the board, so just a deep jumper for Coles. She has 7 points here tonight. First points for her since that first quarter when she had 5, so
yeah, very early.
If they can get Carmen Coles going, of course, one of their 2 senior leaders, then we could see McKeesport start to get their offense gelling once again.
Menifee's kind of stepped up in the place of Haley for her scoring, Haley Hertzler. She's only got 3 points tonight, but it's not like she's been a force otherwise.
It's been everywhere else,
yeah,
the defense.
She's gotten 2 steals. She's been up on the pressure a lot. She's also got in the passing lane and swatted some passes out of bounds. So not filling it up offensively, but doing her part definitely on the defensive side.
This McKeesport team, as there's a 3-ball, no good by Emma Peck. Rebounded by Johns. Johns goes to the hole, and she draws a foul. So with 2:36 on the clock, Abigail Johns will head to the free throw line.
That could have been a charge.
Yep, it goes back to what you said earlier. It can just kind of go either way, and you got to be objective with it. Johns makes the first. This McKeesport team, of course, Johns misses the second. This McKeesport team had to replace 3 key seniors from last year's team, including Brianna Evans Lila Taylor and Jyla Bray, who average a double-double and average over 20 points per game for this Tigers team.
And Jyla Bray also went over 1,000 rebounds in her career.
Yes.
So
there's just a force every night for the Tigers as Manfredo is able to convert, make it 34-15, McKeesport. On the other end, a miss by Kiski, and McKeesport looking to take advantage, but they turn the ball over. Carmen Coles gets a steal and the bucket.
There's that pressure again. A little bit more intense, although they've backed out of their trap for now.
Defense turning into offense for McKeesport. Coles has 4 points here in the quarter, and that's going to be another turnover on the Cavaliers.
Out by 21 now, McKeesport really can start to feel it. You know, if they can just get a little bit more comfortable with this nice lead, maybe they can start converting some baskets.
They've really kept playing solid defense as they have really all night, and they've improved on the offensive end of the floor as well as Hertzler feeds it inside to Manfredo for two.
Another nice pass, nice look inside. Again, really couldn't see her there, but went for it, and she was able to receive the pass and put it away.
There's a foul called here. Looks like it's going to be on Haley Hertzler. We mentioned Rachel Manfredo, another one of these young freshmen for McKeesport that have really made an impact in their first year, along with Brooke Evans and Maddie Hertzler, Maddie Cherepko. The future looks bright here in McKeesport. Foul sends Carly Keller to the line for Kiski.
Yeah, that was a good call. She got into her on the body that time.
Keller misses the first.
Well, when you have a bunch of seniors and a really successful team, you're going to have those years where you got to replace a bunch of them. And the only way to do that, really successfully is by letting your young players play. And, McKeesport's done that. And they've, surprised with their success, I'm sure. But
helps a lot when they're able to contribute right away and contribute at a high level.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Kiski maintains possession into the hands of Sam Worthing, who hit two big threes for the Cavaliers tonight. And there's Deja Burnett inside for two.
She's a handle.
6 points for Burnett here in the third quarter. It's held scoreless in the first half. Hertzler for two, no good. Burnett provide a presence in front of her. And a jump ball called, and McKeesport will take over. .6 seconds left here in the third quarter. 38-17, McKeesport leads. Jumper there by Cherepko's no good, and a follow-up by Rachel Manfredo.
I don't even know how she got that shot up. She was all contorted. She was like leaning backwards on her feet. Somehow she had to try to get that ball, of course, up over top of Deja Burnett and was able to do so.
Worthing three ball, no good. Keysport looks the other way. Manfredo, 6 points here in this quarter. She lifts a floater at the buzzer, and it falls.
How about that finish for Miss Manfredo? An off-balance shot at one end, gets the rebound on the defensive side, brings the ball up the floor and floats one home to beat the buzzer. And it's now a 25-point Tiger advantage.
Heading into the fourth quarter, McKeesport going to take a 42-17 lead here into the final 8 minutes. And a 10-2 run for McKeesport in the final 2.5 minutes. And any guess who scored the most points during that run, Dean?
Rachel Manfredo.
Yeah. eight of McKeesport's 10 points during their 10-2 run in the final 2.5 minutes. So the freshman really making an impact here for the Tigers to help get this offense going.
Yeah, and like we were talking, I think during a timeout that Kiski had kept it pretty even in the third quarter, and then all of a sudden, this spurt has fueled the Tigers to the lead, and at the head of it is Rachel Manfredo. 8 points in the third quarter for her.
Naviana Menifee had the first 6 points of that frame for McKeesport in the first 2 minutes. And Kiski was able to cut it to 14, but a 14-3 run for McKeesport in the final 5.5 minutes. So going a little deeper. And now here's Burnett inside. She's able to convert and draw the foul. And if you're Kiski and you want to continue to somehow claw away here, Burnett is going to have to be at the forefront.
Yes. 6 points in that third quarter after not scoring in the first half. Of course, that was due to foul trouble as she converts the free throw there, now with 9.
Makes it 42-20. McKeesport with their first possession of this fourth quarter. Manfredo tried to get it into the hands of Evans, but it hit off a Kiski hand into the hands of Abigail Johns, and the Cavaliers looking to convert off the turnover. Johns kicks it out to Coleman. Now gets it into Keller. Keller inside, goes off the side of the backboard. Evans with the rebound, and now here comes Melina Board. Board to Evans. Evans inside. No good. Menifee the rebound. She can't convert. Evans another rebound. Looking for an open teammate. Gets it into Board. Board for 3. No good. And a push and a foul called on Kiski. That's going to be on Deja Burnett. Looks like it's going to be her 4th foul. Or maybe they didn't call it on Burnett. Looks like they're going to call it on Cora Coleman.
Call on Coleman there.
It looked like by Burnett's reaction, it seemed like that might have been foul number 4, but she still has 3 fouls. All in the first half. Has done a good job of staying disciplined here in the second half, playing good defense.
And still being aggressive. She's still being aggressive, blocking shots. She's got 5 blocks.
Having that controlled aggression on the defensive end of the floor is definitely big, especially when you're in foul trouble.
And she is only a junior, so she'll be back.
A nice veteran to have with this young group moving forward.
Absolutely.
Evans tried to look inside, so Manfredo was off the hands of Burnett and out of bounds. Stay with the Tigers.
If she wasn't paying attention, if Burnett would have just let that go, that would have been a turnover for McKeesport.
Another block by Burnett on the shot attempt by Menifee. Kiski the other way into the corner. 3 ball off the mark by Coleman. 3 ball there by Johns is no good. Rebounded by Manfredo, and McKeesport coming with speed. Melina Board goes to the hole. She draws a foul, and it's going to be on Burnett. That's foul number 4. Didn't like that call. One of those situations where can't let her have anything easy. You got to at least do something to keep her from the basket.
Yeah. You just predicted that. You were just a little early on her picking up her 4th foul.
Yes. For those listening, sometimes my predictions take a while to come to fruition. Board misses the first. Still 42-20 McKeesport with just over 6 minutes to go in this Class 5A preliminary round matchup. Board hits the second. Melina Board has been kind of quiet here tonight as well.
Yeah, just what, 3 points, 3 free throws.
43-20 McKeesport, and another foul on the Tigers. It's going to be on board.
That's going to be 1-1.
Worthing will head to the free throw line as Coles and Hertzler come in for Cherepko and Manfredo. 5:51 left in the fourth quarter. Sam Worthing to the line. She gets the first. Nice game for Worthing here tonight. 7 points. Pair of big threes. She goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
I'm sure that Kiski coach Nicholas Dizon isn't real happy that his team's down by 20-some points, but I'm sure if he looks around at some of the other 5A pigtail games, he won't be too upset.
No, I don't think so. I think Kiski's definitely brought everything they had here tonight and have done, I think, a relatively good job against this McKeesport team.
I mean, they were essentially the last seed in the 5A tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a couple of teams seated ahead of them that aren't playing quite as well.
Charge called on Carly Keller. I think this 5A bracket is pretty loaded with talent, so good experience for this Kiski girls team to come in here on the road and play still in a tough environment regardless of how many people are in attendance. Good amount here in the crowd. 2 for Menifee, a tough shot. She's able to convert. 14 points for Aviana Menifee here tonight. 45-22 McKeesport as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter, and there's another turnover by Kiski. Fast break. Brooke Evans is able to score 2.
All right, now, Brooke, you need another basket to get this double-double, okay?
8 points tonight for Brooke Evans.
And with 11 rebounds.
Here's another turnover. Hertzler picked it up and was fouled by Riley Hannon.
Looks like we have, this is a first quarter score after the first quarter. Albert Gallatin over Greensburg-Salem, 12-11. Is this Indiana and Moon? Yes. Indiana leads Moon 25-24.
Of course, you mentioned that Albert Gallatin game. The winner of that matchup will face number 4 Thomas Jefferson on Thursday.
There you go. The York boys. Wherever they are. I can't find them.
There's a lot of brackets.
There is a lot of brackets. The York boys are playing Knock. That's right. Knock leads the York. Knock leads York. That's hard to say. 52-34 in the
Say
third
that
quarter.
5 times fast.
I couldn't even say it once.
Hertzler makes the first. Hertzler first points of this second half. She hits both. She hit a 3-pointer early in the first half, and that's been it for Haley Hertzler, who leads McKeesport in scoring this year, 10.6 points per game. McKeesport's had some offensive contributions from just about everybody, though. Inside goes Burnett for 2. 49-24. Burnett now has 11 points on the night. All here in the second half. Jump ball called there. And we'll go back to Kiski.
The Ringgold girls have been eliminated. Fox Chapel 69-25.
Write that into our brackets as we continue to move on here in the playoffs. Second day of WPIAL playoff actions. There's a bucket by Abigail Johns inside.
Nice strong drive and take to the hoop by her that time.
49-26 on that bucket by Johns.
John's a little gimpy there.
Evans feeds it inside. Got it to Maddie Hertzler, but can't convert. Now
Menifee would have put back.
16 points for Aviana Menifee.
Another Kiski turnover.
51-26 McKeesport with 3:22 to go. The Tigers looking to close this one out, and a timeout called here. Looks like by
Kiski, I believe.
Kiski.
26 Cavalier turnovers. As many turnovers as points, that's usually not a good sign.
No, and especially when they had 12 of those turnovers in the first quarter, that kind of put them behind the 8 ball right away. As they went down 16-2 after the first. And ever since then, this Kiski team has kind of just been playing catch-up.
Yeah, the first quarter really did them in, and then, the second half of the third quarter kind of solidified the McKeesport lead. And here in the fourth quarter, they've been able to maintain it. Again, Kiski's not, turnovers aside, they can't be upset with how they played here tonight.
Yep.
They had a slow start, the turnovers, but they've played pretty well in the second and third quarters, and even here in the fourth. It's just they're running out of time and probably energy at this point.
I think for McKeesport, that big first quarter and the way that they've played defensively has really been key for them here tonight in this preliminary round matchup.
I would agree with that assessment.
Inside is Hertzler. She gets blocked off the ball by Burnett. Another block for Deja Burnett.
7 blocks.
11.7 blocks for the 6'1 junior. Keysport looking to add. Hertzler feeds it inside to Madison Miller, and no good. Kiski the other way. Floater there by Keller's no good, and the jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of McKeesport. Referee's having a brief discussion before Carmen Coles looks to inbound. Full court defense here by Kiski. Sub comes in as Zoe Holm enters for the Cavaliers. Burnett, another block. She gets that one on Tyara Neal. And a floater there by Carly Keller.
Good job on the fast break there, converting.
Another turnover by the Tigers. Kiski the chance to go the other way. Kiski has scored 6 of the last 8 points. So they trail 51-28 here with 2:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Into the hands of Sam Worthing. Worthing gets it back to Holm. Another turnover. McKeesport takes over. Hertzler with speed. Goes the other way. Into the hands of Maddie Hertzler. No good. Kiski will take over. Kaylee Charles will enter for the Tigers. Some of McKeesport's bench players will enter, and here comes Nicole Hilty, a senior for Kiski. She takes over for Deja Burnett.
11 points and 8 blocked shots for Deja Burnett tonight.
And in when we mentioned how McKeesport's defense has made an impact, the fact that they held Burnett scoreless in that first half. I mean, if Burnett was able to do what she's done here in the second half in the opening 16 minutes, I mean, this might be a little bit different of a game.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the Tigers are going to have to continue to, play this well defensively to advance through these playoffs.
Nice turnover forced by Zoe Holm. She stepped in front of a pass by Madison Miller. Miller, another freshman that McKeesport, I'm sure, will rely on here in the future. 3 ball there. No good by Hilty. Tigers go the other way. Here comes Hertzler. She can't draw the foul. And now another turnover. Zoe Holm again in on the action. Gets it over to Hilty. Hilty is knocked off the ball. A scrum for it. They get it out to Holm. She's fighting for the ball with Miracle Kelly, the McKeesport junior. Nice hustle there by both teams. A little sloppy as well, but
I didn't know whether
Kiski
we were
will
watching,
keep the ball.
Didn't know whether we were watching basketball or rugby for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. McKeesport's bench player is going to get some quality experience here. Worthing for 3, her third three-pointer of the night.
I don't think she's missed from 3. I think she's 3 for 3.
I think she missed 1, if I'm not mistaken. I think she might be 3 for 4. But still, a great game for Sam Worthing. 11 points, 3 three-pointers. Also went 2 for 2 from the free throw line earlier in this quarter. She has matched Burnett with points. They have combined for, there's a turnover for McKeesport as Hertzler was out of bounds. Her foot was out on the line as she got the inbound pass.
Well, the Cavaliers only averaged 28.7 points offensively. They're over their average.
Again, it goes back to the fact that this Kiski team is, you got to think that they're going to get better from this experience. They've played relatively well here in this loss. I think have surprised some people with their performance, so kudos to the Cavaliers. 3 ball by Kelly is good. Miracle Kelly, the junior, for 3. 54-31. There's a block by Kaylee Charles. Kiski, one more shot. Worthing for 3, no good. And that's going to do it for this one. Final score, McKeesport will move on in the WPIAL Class 5A playoffs. The number 7 Tigers with a 54-31 win over the number 26th ranked Kiski area Cavaliers. Defense and a fast start.
Yeah, that's
are what were key here for McKeesport in this win.
Yeah, they were able to get out early, 16-2 in the first quarter, and then, sustained it the rest of the way. Really, they outscored them the rest of the way, 38-29. So still an advantage. I'm sure not as much as they would have liked to, but Kiski was scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
Hung around that 20-point mark for most of the game after that terrible first quarter. And like we said, no reason for them to hang their heads really. After tonight's game, they scored over their scoring average. Just too many unforced errors, too many turnovers, and foul trouble early kind of bit them as well. And
we have a final in the other preliminary round matchup, and it will be number 7 McKeesport versus number 10 Oakland Catholic in the first round Thursday at 6 p.m. Oakland Catholic, a 73-10 win over Laurel Highlands. Helena Hill with 24 points, 5 3-pointers. Alexa Washington with 11 points for Oakland Catholic. Alessandria Pecan with 5 points for LH. So the Tigers know who they will face. They will face Oakland Catholic in the first round, and the winner of that matchup will move on to the quarterfinals Monday at 6 p.m. to face potentially number 2 Char Valley. Of course, they play their first round matchup Thursday against the winner of Plum in Lincoln Park. But McKeesport knows who they have next. they will focus on Oakland Catholic moving forward and try to improve on this one here tonight. Again, a final score of 51-31. McKeesport moving on. End of the season for Kiski area. Of course, they could potentially play some more games after being eliminated. The WPIAL has given teams the option of playing more non-section games even after their playoff journey ends. So Kiski moves to 3-17 overall. McKeesport goes to 15-4 overall. And that'll about do it for us here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Again, thank you for those who have tuned in here tonight. I am Mon Valley Independent Assistant Sports Editor Jose Negron for correspondent Dean Della Malva. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.